going on, guys? Welcome back to another great day. Today I'm going to be installing a budget-friendly roof rack on the Ford Bronco. In the last video I installed a factory roof rack on the Bronco and it turned out great, but I'm still in the search for a nice aftermarket roof rack for the Bronco, and I don't want to spend over $1,000, in some cases even $2,000 for a roof rack with no accessories. So the other day I went over to Hook Road and I chose the full roof rack that they offer, and I got it in the mail yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and unbox it here in a little bit and take a look at all the materials that comes with it and see what it takes to install it, and then install it on the Bronco and see how it looks. And I'll give you guys my opinion on whether it's worth the money or not. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box and see what all it comes with. And just like that, we got everything unboxed, ready to go. And the finish on this is actually really nice, guys. It's like a nice black powder coated finish. Everything is nicely packaged and nothing was damaged. Like I said, everything came individually packaged in this like nice thick plastic, so it kind of helped it from getting damaged during shipping. But I went ahead and double checked, make sure everything is included, because you definitely don't want to start a project and you have something missing. So I went ahead and double checked everything. Everything's included. I did find something that they messed up on. I don't know if it's a typo or whatever, but it says tools included or needed to install this is a 4 and a 6 millimeter hex bit. Well, I went ahead and got a couple of the screws out. That is a 4 millimeter, but this one is not a 6. It's actually a 5 millimeter hex. So I'm not sure if that's a typo or whatever, but I did check more than one bolt, and it does look like it needs a 5 and a 4 millimeter hex bit, and all you need is a ratchet to put everything together. And it does also say that it takes about 2 to 3 people to put this together, or at least put it on the Bronco. But I'm working by myself today, so I will let you know whether one person can do it. So right now, you just want to go over there and check out their website. They have more stuff for the Ford Bronco. Also, like I said, they have budget-friendly accessories for the Bronco. The reason why I chose this roof rack is because, yes, it's less than $500, and it does also say that you can remove the hardtop on the Bronco without having to remove the roof rack, which is a big plus. And it's got T-slots for like a high jack, a car carrier, even like a aftermarket like bed, because it says it can hold up to 800 pounds as long as it's evenly distributed on the crossbars, which is a big plus, because I eventually do want to take this camping with the family and stuff like that. So eventually I will be putting lights and stuff like that on it. But for now, let's go ahead and get this thing started and start putting this thing together. Got the back piece installed first. So the back piece goes on first, and then the side rails go on second. They didn't say anything about the nuts. So the nuts size for the 6 or the 5 millimeter bolts use a 13 millimeter socket, and then the M4 bolts, the little smaller ones, these are going to use a 10 millimeter size socket. So you're going to need that as well, 10 millimeter socket and a 13 millimeter socket. So get 3 crossbars out. Going to go ahead and bolt those on, and then we can go ahead and put on our brackets here for the back of the, I guess, the roof rack, or I mean on the hardtop. So here you have to really distinguish by these dots here. So the dots will tell you, like that says, the 2 dots in the middle is passenger front. So these are passenger front, and the passenger rear has them on the outside, like so. So that's how you're going to distinguish where these go, and that's when you'll put them on the actual roof rack. So we'll go ahead and do that after I put the crossbars first. All right, we got all 4 brackets, mounting brackets to the back half of the rack. And this is just the first half. This is just the back half. We got to mount this onto the Bronco. But mounting these brackets were pretty simple. I just use a trash can here to elevate it from the ground. And we had these just finger tight on the back. And as soon as you tighten these down, that's what's going to give you the clamping force on the top of the Bronco. So now all we got to do is go over to the Bronco, and we have to remove the factory top, or at least the factory roof rack, off the top of the Bronco real quick. All right, now with those off, we can go ahead and put on the back half on the Bronco. And like I said, those are just gonna clamp on to the back panel here on your hardtop, so the front one and the rear one, and then it will sit inside a channel on the inside of the top here where the existing ones were. And like I said, once you tighten these down, that's what's going to give you that clamping force on the back. Yeah, it's better. little bit of advice, this thing is actually really heavy. Even just being the back half, it's pretty tough. I basically just used the ladder, opened the tailgate, and just kind of climbed up here and slowly laid it on top. But yeah, we got it up here. All right, up next we got to assemble the front part and this rail here, where these kind of weird, crazy looking nuts, they slide into the rail. We also need to bolt this to this, and it's gonna be kind of hard because you're gonna have to, once you bolt two together, you can't move these around. So it's kind of, you're gonna have to line these up where they're gonna go, match these up, kind of ballpark it close enough. You can kind of start the bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to start some here. It's kind of tricky, and I'm gonna use this pick, a skinny pick here, to kind of move the nuts on the backside if they're not lining up correctly, just enough to give me some wiggle room here. So they want you to get this bracket. This is the one that's gonna actually mount up here, and initially this is what's in the bolt to the front of the Bronco. It's got a nice little felt protector here so it doesn't scratch up the paint. And we need to attach this little, I guess it's like a wind blocker or kind of like a shield to help kind of protect or at least cover up the gap here. So when you bolt this up, this initially will go like this. So, and it uses these two little screws here and small washers. And these are not 4 millimeters, these are actually 3. So you're gonna need a 3, a 4, and a 5 millimeter Allen to put this together. And of course a 10 and a 13 millimeter socket. And go ahead and put this together really quick. All right, now that I got these snug down, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the Bronco now, because the next step it says go ahead and attach the rails and then attach the crossbar and then put it on the Bronco and assemble it. But that's gonna be kind of heavy. I think it's gonna be even heavier than the back one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the Bronco now, and then I'll attach the rails on the car as I go, and the crossbars and stuff. Make it a little bit easier on myself because I'm working by myself and I don't want to have any accidents. All right, so let's go see and make sure everything lines up before we start putting this together. I'll crawl up here, and hopefully we got the right brackets on the right spot. Perfect, that looks good. If you have some really big hands, there's not much room back here to attach or install these nuts here. So I went ahead and attached the side rail and the rear bracket already on the back, so I connected both of them together on there, and I'm gonna just let it loose for now because I do need to attach the crossbars on the other side and the other rail. I'm gonna show you guys how I attached them together, at least how I made them together. It's not very tricky. So basically you're gonna have these two brackets. The one with the brace like this goes on the inside, and then the one without the brace goes on the outside. So this is pretty simple, guys. It's just basically laying here. We're gonna go ahead and do our rail on the back. All right, we are finally down to our last pieces of the roof rack, and that is the crossbars for the front. I went ahead and installed one already in the front. You can do it. Like I said, I left everything loose. So, and one thing I also want to note is I had 4 washers missing for the final install. So I actually was lucky enough to have 4 laying around, but I was missing 4 black washers for the crossbars. So I would have had 1 crossbar with missing these 4 washers. So I want to keep note, like I said, always make sure you have all the hardware before you get started. Luckily I had some laying around. Like I said, I haven't tied anything down yet. Everything's still pretty loose. I'm not gonna do my final torque down until I have everything mounted and I know everything fits and everything is lining up correctly and is squared up and even. I haven't had any issues with any of these bolts not lining up with any of the slots. Everything's been going good. I have 2 more to go. I don't want to jinx myself now. Well, there you have it, guys. The roof rack is finally installed. The Bronco looks amazing now with the rack on there, and I couldn't be happier. So glad that I went with this rack and saved myself a lot of money and not going with anybody else. This thing turned out amazing. Only flaws I had was I had 4 washers missing. That was it. The fit and finish turned out amazing. No complaints, no flaws at all. You guys are wondering whether you can still remove the actual top on the Bronco with the rack on there. Yes, you can. I'll show you guys a little clip here of me removing it. You do just have to close the front latch in order for you to slide the actual top through the rack, or at least through the gap here. But besides that, it will fit, and the top will come off with the rack on there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and order some accessories like a hijack, a carrier on top, and maybe even some other stuff, some lighting as well, to kind of finish the Bronco in the way it looks. As far as wind noise, there's very little to no wind noise with this rack. Now, if you guys are interested in picking one up yourself or anything off their website, use product code HRJJB, save you guys some money. If you guys have any questions about today's video, please put it in the comments down below, and I'll try to get to you as soon as I can. And like always, guys, please like and please subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.